start in a chest opening position with the blocks. So we're going to take them. The first position we'll use is you can use the block behind your upper back. So it goes like right between your shoulder blades, kind of way up here, not down here. Okay, up here. Could be on the medium or the low height, whatever feels better to you today. And then the block for your head, you want it to be higher than the one behind your shoulders. So you just adjust. And if you get into it, you're like, ooh, that's kind of a big opening, then just lower the blocks. You could also, if you're doing this at home, you could use blankets instead, blankets or pillows, whatever you've got. And so as you settle in there, just take a couple of exhales. Your knees can be bent or straight. And let me know if you need any help kind of finding the position here. So you might just take a wide inhale, feeling your ribs expand, and then exhale out your mouth. And you can blow out like you're blowing out through pursed lips, or you could blow out like you're just sighing. Allowing your shoulders to fall back relative to your chest. That's the idea here, is kind of just allowing gravity to let those shoulders, which we tend to round forward, that get really tight in the front, to allow them to passively open here. And as you do this, you want to feel comfortable. So it's not meant to be this huge stretch or position, awkward position. It's meant to feel at ease. Noticing if you might be able to soften your jaw as you're here. And I thought we would focus a bit today with 4th of July, Independence Day, focusing on just body autonomy, right? So the idea here being that you're free in your own body, that you get to move how you want to move. I mean, these are always how I want to encourage you in our yoga sessions to be, is not to just follow instructions or feel like you have to do something or perform a certain way, but instead to really get in tune with what your body needs at any given moment. So letting yourself be curious about that. And you might just ask yourself, what % of me is present right now? Without any judgment around it. And could you gently invite yourself to become more present in your body? And then gently inviting in a little bit of a wider inhale through the torso. And a longer exhale. You can use any kind of breath you want to. So you could breathe in and out through the nose. That would be the typical yoga breath. Or you could use Ujjayi breathing. And you might experiment with taking your arms wider out to the sides or overhead. You can move your arms however you'd like to. Kind of waking things up maybe a little more deeply now. Sometimes I like to just interlace my hands and stretch them overhead. Or if you want to be more gentle, you could hold opposite wrists or forearms and let them rest on your forehead. Let's just do 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready to, your knees should bend as you come out. So if you've got your legs straight, just bring your feet to the floor, knees to bend, and tucking your chin, placing your hands down to come off of your blocks. Now, we're going to rearrange them. And some people might feel like you want to use a blanket instead. Okay, so let me show first, because the way I'm going to rearrange is the blocks will be the same height. And I've got the one behind my back on the middle level, but going parallel to my spine. So it'll be lining my spine. So when I come back, I'm not going to put it down by my kidney area, right? It's still kind of high. And I'm here and I just have to arrange it. And we're going to do a little protract, retract with the shoulder blades here. It's way up high. This might feel like too big of an opening on your low back, in which case you could put it on the low level. That still works. Or you could roll up a blanket instead. Okay. So just trying to get in there and get yourself comfortable. Knees are bent for this. Okay. And just make sure there's no pain in your low back and let me know if you need help. If you need your block behind your head higher, you can lift it up. Okay, so just listen to what your neck needs. And then as you're ready, you're going to take your arms up toward the ceiling. Palms are facing one another. And then could you try to squeeze your shoulder blades toward one another, and they'll press around the block like they're almost squeezing the block. And then as you inhale, let's reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling. So now your shoulder blades are wide. And then as you exhale, let's draw the shoulders toward one another. So they just come straight down and you're squeezing the block. That's retracting. And then protracting the shoulder blades as you reach the fingertips toward the ceiling, and repeat. So you're trying to keep the hands shoulder distance apart. That's right. They're not getting wider and more narrow. If it hurts, Lisa, use the blanket instead. So it's just like this. I'll show you. So using the blanket, you just kind of roll it up and you put it there. You don't want to have any pain when you're doing this, okay? So if it's, you can also lower your block, but if that still bothers it, just roll up the blanket. You'll get the same experience. Okay. Now, you guys that have been doing it a while and feel fine with the height your block is, you can try different positions with your arms. You know, if you want to continue and open the arms or do whatever feels good, go for it. Does that feel better, Lisa? Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Breathe. A few more breaths there, everybody. Just playing around with this. Good. And then to come out, if you're on the blanket, just roll to your side. But if you're on the blocks, we'll do it the same way we did before. Forearms down, tucking chin, lifting up off of your stuff, moving it out of the way. We're going to have a block and a blanket close by as you come down onto your back with your knees bent. And once you get there, let's just take a moment to orient to this position. So feeling your body on the floor, noticing how your upper back and shoulders and neck feel, making any movements you might want to make. Good. And then coming back into your breath. Good. And now let's reach your right leg up toward the ceiling with your left knee bent, and just bend and straighten that right leg a few times, and a kicking into the heel or pointing the toe, whichever you like better. Just opening up the back of the leg. And then let's switch sides. So that foot comes down, same thing, other side. Arms can be wherever they feel best. Okay, now we're going to take either a blanket or a block, and your both legs are going up toward the ceiling, and we're going to place the blanket or the block on the bottom of your right foot. The block will be harder to balance. If you're tighter in the calves, you might want to use the blanket. And if you just start losing the block like crazy, just switch to the blanket, okay? So the object is on the bottom of your right foot. Both legs are going up toward the ceiling now. That's it. Now let's interlace hands behind head. And as you exhale, elbows curl around ears, tuck chin, and lift head and shoulders up off the floor. Good. Now, can you draw your ribs down toward the floor? Let your neck rest. So let your head rest in your hands. Let's take a big inhale. And as you exhale, can you keep your ribs moving down toward the floor as you start to lower your left leg toward the floor? Not all the way, just part way. And then inhale, bring it back up. And repeat. So your head and shoulders stay off the floor the whole time. And you're exhaling, lowering one leg like a scissor. And then you inhale, bring it back up. But you could do this with no core work at all or very little. Instead, I want you to do it very slowly and work on pressing those back ribs down to the floor. Right? So really being aware of that whole cylinder of your core and pressing those bottom ribs, letting your neck be at ease. So try not to crank on your neck. Good, let's just do a couple more on this side. Can you feel those lower abdominals working as well? And then when you're ready to rest, just bend both knees. You can take your block or blanket, place it on your belly, feet to the floor, following your breath in and out. If you want to rock the head, you can. And then we'll go for the other side. So we'll take both feet toward the ceiling, your object on your left foot, reaching it up. If you can, they're straight, but they don't have to be. Interlacing hands behind head. Inhale as you curl elbows around ears. Exhale as you tuck chin and lift head and shoulders up. Let neck relax. Stay there, you guys, so you can really focus on the core. Exhale, draw ribs down, engage belly. Inhale. Then very slowly exhale, start to lower the right leg. You can always take more than one breath. And inhale, draw it back up. Now, if these are very difficult, then you're not going to take the leg down as far, right? Or you could even keep it bent. That'll be easier too, all right? And you're focusing on how much can you connect to your belly. So instead of the belly pooching upward as you're engaging those lower abdominals and drawing them downward. If you focus on the ribs, drawing downward, it might help. Okay, couple more breaths there, a couple more repetitions. Jaw relaxed, face relaxed. Good, and then rest. Take your blanket or block off, just set it to the side. Take a couple of breaths in constructive rest, or you can windshield wiper the knees side to side. Good, take a couple of big breaths into the abdominal region. Like what I mean is, can you feel it through that area as you breathe? Good. And then let's come up to the center with the knees. I'm going to draw the right knee in and take the foot toward the ceiling, just placing your hand, your right hand on the outer part of the knee. That's it. And then drawing the knee, so you're bending it like half happy baby, drawing the knee toward the right armpit or shoulder. Good, that's it. Now, with that right hand, you could reach up to the outer right shin, ankle, or even the foot, depending on your mobility. Okay, now from here, press hand into foot, foot into hand, or like you're trying to straighten the leg up, but you're pulling it down. And then from here, as you keep it, let's just tap that knee over to the right on the floor, letting your left hip come off the floor as you do it. And then coming to center, you're going to take the left hand to the foot. And you can straighten out the left leg if you'd like, as you take the right foot toward the floor on the left side of your body. Yeah, so you just let that left leg move and then come back and repeat. Okay, so you're just going to go side to side at your own pace. That left leg can bend and straighten. The right arm can reach out to the right as you twist. Right, so just going back and forth, warming up through the spine and the hips here. Good. And again, finding some freedom in movement. So how does this movement work in your body today? How do you want to change it so it can be accessible for you and give you just the right amount of challenge or sensation? Good. And then taking a break, coming to center, straightening out the legs for a moment. And let's just notice the two sides here. Notice what the two hips feel like, the two legs. Follow your breath in, taking a sigh. Good. And then let's bend both knees to start. And exhale, bringing the left knee in, holding around the outside of the knee, foot towards ceiling. And then you might reach that right hand up higher on the outer shin, ankle, or foot. Create some counter pressure to start. Breathe. And then as you're ready, you can begin the rocking motion to the left, tapping that knee down, and then coming up through the center, switching hands. You could reach the left arm to the side. I like to straighten my right leg a little as I twist. Good. And repeat. Just noticing how you're feeling on this side, through the hip, through your spine, and wherever else you're noticing. A few more. Good. And then coming back to the center, letting that foot come down, straighten out the legs, noticing the two sides, following your breath in and out. All right, let's take our blanket and we're going to place it on the bottom of our right foot, reaching the leg up toward the ceiling. Your left leg can be straight on the floor or it could be bent, whichever feels better. Okay. Now, first, your arms can relax at your sides or they can rest on your belly so you can feel your core stabilizing. Good. Follow your breath in and out. Let's start by making circles as though the blanket were erasing the ceiling, like around, or washing the ceiling around in a circle. Could be small or big, doesn't matter. Then reverse directions. Keep trying to stabilize through your core. So trying to feel the abdominals really drawing downward, engaging. Good. Back to the center with the leg. Let's inhale. And as you exhale, let's start to take that leg out to the right, only as far as you can with that left hip staying down and the core stabilized. And inhale back up and repeat. Now, if you want to use the exhale to come back up, you can do that too. It doesn't matter. Okay, so whatever feels better for you, the exhale tends to create more core stability because the abdominals are naturally engaging when you exhale. And yeah, go slowly so you can notice when you're starting to lose that core stability too. And you might also feel your inner thigh working. Next time you come up to the center, let's bend the knee, take the blanket off, and we're just going to switch sides. So your left leg reaches up, your right leg can be bent or straight. And you take some breaths here in the center, trying to find those abdominal muscles. You can put your fingers there and start to feel them engaging. They can stay engaged the whole time as you start to circle the leg. So you might be noticing a lot of stuff here. You might be noticing the tightness of the upper leg. You might be noticing your core working, even if it's subtle. Try to soften through the jaw. Make sure you go in both directions with those circles. And when you're ready, coming to center, you can use the inhale or the exhale to start to take that left leg out to the left, and then use the opposite breath to come to center. Trying to notice when that right hip starts to move. Can you pause before that happens? And try to notice, can you use your core to stabilize the movement of your limbs? This is a variation of Supta Pada Angustasana, which is reclined hand to big toe pose. Good, you guys. And next time you come up, let's release it, bend the knee, remove the block. And let's just draw both knees in towards your belly. You can either rock and roll to come up, or you could roll to your side and come up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. You might need your knees padded. And we'll start by taking the right leg directly out to the right. So it's like you're in a tabletop with the leg extended. And so just find where you won't be getting in your neighbor's way. Good. Of course, you could be forearms on blocks too. And just start with some cats and cows. Either one could be the inhale or the exhale. Really focus on pressing your right foot into the floor strongly as you do this. Yeah, and if your hip needs adjustment, moving the leg forward or back, you can always do that. Okay, now next time you tilt the tail up, let's have the back toes tucked under. And on your exhales now, we'll try to sit back toward the heel with the right foot pressing into the floor, and then you inhale back up and repeat. Notice if you can have the tail reaching toward the ceiling as you go back. You'll find at some point it will start to tuck under. So just being aware of that, noticing. Good, you guys. Now, next time you rise back up, just going to find one of your blocks, and you can use it for help if you want to. We're going to rise up onto that knee, onto that left knee. If you need more padding, add it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is bend the right knee and turn the foot out and the knee out. So looks like this for you guys at home. Okay. So boom. Good. And then from here, let's put the right forearm. You're just going to leave your block nearby. Put your right forearm on your right thigh. Press into the left hip a little bit. So it's like it's pushing it out to the side. Good. Let's reach the left arm along your ear. Yeah. So if I mirror you, we're doing this. Let your neck relax. Let your jaw relax and breathe. So if you can feel the three corners of that right foot pressing down. Good. Now let's bring that right arm down to your right hip. And just roll that right shoulder open. Some of you can wrap it behind your back if you want. The back of the hand is against the sacrum or the hip somewhere. Good. Your neck relax. Good. And now let's inhale, rise back up to center. So shoulders are over hips. And now you're going to grab your block. I got to figure out how I can show this here too. So from here, I've just got my block resting on my thigh and my forearm there, right? And I try to open the left knee up. So it's opening. If you look down at your big toe, you can see your big toe. It's not crashing inward. So we're going to get into the inner thigh still. Some of you might feel that you could put the block on the inner knee. And I'm just taking my palm forward, facing forward with my forearm against the knee. And now I'm going to press my forearm into the block and my block into the forearm. And you can have your other hand on your hip. If this feels like too much leaning over, like you feel like you're doing this, just come up here and do it. Okay. Okay, keep breathing. Really work the inner thigh, pressing into the block and the block into the arm into block. Good. And then let's rise up, and you can straighten that leg back out. So you guys are here, right? Just turn the foot forward, knee forward, and come back down onto your hands and knees, just setting the block down, and then bring that knee in, and let's take the left leg out. Good. Press that left foot into the floor strongly and begin your cats and cows when you're ready, using your breath. So when I say using your breath, what I mean is that you're aware of when you're inhaling and exhaling, and linking it to the movement can help with your focus, like we were working on last week. Just staying focused, staying present. Good. And now next time you tilt the tail up, let's try to keep the tail tilted up, foot pressing into floor, back toes tucked, and we'll use the exhale to go back and the inhale to come up and repeat. Just noticing, getting curious. It might be the knee that limits you. It might be your inner thigh. It might be your foot. So just noticing that back foot is what I mean. Stretching the toes. Good, you guys. And then let's come up to center and stand up, just so you can use your block to get there. I'll mirror you. You can set the block down. Let's be up tall. Good. And then you're going to bend your left knee. Set your forearm on it if it works. And you can reach your left arm along your ear, or your right arm, pressing your right hip out to the side. Good. You can let your neck be at ease. Breathing into that right side body. Good. And now bringing that arm down, you could take it behind your back or put it on your hip. And now we're just working on open up the shoulder a little bit, the front of the shoulder. Feeling that wide inhale, long exhale. And then coming back up, now we'll take the block and just set it on the thigh here. So this could be one position, and let's work on opening the knee up from here. So you can start to open up that left knee so you can see the big toe and just get a little more opening through the inner thigh. And this might be where you stay, or you could take it to the inner knee and straighten the arm along it. Good. The other hand behind the back or on the hip. Now really creating some counter pressure if you're in this position. Knee into block, block into knee. Good. Neck at ease. Good. Then slowly rising back up. Good. And straightening out the leg, and then coming down to hands and knees, bringing the knee in now, and we'll stretch back to downward facing dog. You can move around however you'd like to here, and just noticing how your hips are feeling, how your spine's feeling, your legs, whatever you got going on, tuning in. Good, a couple more breaths there. Good. And now from here, let's inhale, bend knees, and exhale, step the right leg forward to a lunge, dropping the left knee down to your blanket. Good, and we're gonna be in a forward lunge rather than a half kneel here. Your right hand could be on a block or the floor. Good. And now from here, can you engage your left glute and inhale, open the chest to the right, make a fist with your right hand, bend to the left knee, and it's like you're gonna tap your heel with your fist. You may or may not, right fist, and then come out to center. We're gonna repeat that. So you're inhale, open, bend the knee, fist going toward heel, and back, and repeat. Okay, so as I come back, I straighten out my leg again. And think of the object as not to actually touch it, but to open up your chest, open up your right shoulder. That's it. So if you don't make contact, no big deal here. It's just going in that direction. Good. Couple more breaths. Good. So opening up that right side of your chest and come down. Let's take both hands to blocks and step back to down dog, hands on blocks. Take an inhale here and an exhale here. And inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, left leg steps forward to lunge, dropping right knee down. Engaging right side of glutes. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay, so inhale, open up that left arm and chest, bend the back knee. Make a fist with the hand, try to tap and back. And when I say try to tap, the point is, again, to open up the chest, right? You might not get anywhere near the heel. That's okay. Good, a few more of those. So we're getting that hamstring activated, opening up the hip flexors, opening up the chest, and possibly the quad too. Good, last one. And coming around, we're gonna take our hands to the blocks. I like to take my blocks high for this one. Okay, I'm gonna step back to your downward dog. Not high, but medium on the blocks, but do what feels best to you, okay? You're in your down dog. We're gonna inhale to bend the knees. And exhale, can you step right leg forward outside the right block or close to it? You're just trying for it, okay? Inhale, exhale, engage the abdominals first as you press into the hands, step back. Inhale, exhale, left leg. Good, now you can do this one breath, stepping back on one breath and forward on the other, or you can do it taking a breath in between, moving on your exhale. Good, you guys. Now from here, next time to down dog, pause. And exhale, we're just gonna walk up towards your blocks here. So notice, where do your blocks, how high do your blocks need to be for your hands to be flat when your legs are straight? Or is it even possible, right? So if you took them up to the high level, that might work, right? If your legs can't straighten. Okay, let's see if that's possible. Now let's take the feet as wide as your mat. They might want to be a little wider too. What we're going to do as we inhale, we're going to bend the knees into a squat, keeping the heels down. So only come down as far as you can with the heels down. Okay. And then as you exhale, we're going to straighten the legs, only straighten them as much as you can with the hands flat. That might mean you take your hands to the floor too and look between your legs. And then inhale back to your squat, heels stay down, and repeat. So some of you are going to be hands on floor. Some of you are going to be hands on high blocks. some medium, some low, right? Just decide. And, you know, people doing this at home, some people might need a chair. You might not use blocks at all, okay? Think the object is to have your hands flat and your feet flat the whole time, right? That's what you're doing. And of course, you're listening to your knees, your hips. And now I like to do these quickly, but you don't have to, okay? It's just an opportunity, okay? So if you want a little more heat, you can do it like a little pumping action. And then you'll really start firing up the quads. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's stay in a forward fold. You can have the knees as bent as you want to. So letting go of that 4-point requirement and just relaxing into it a little bit, letting your neck go, letting your jaw go, following the breath in and following the breath out. Good. 2 more like that. All right, from here, let's inhale, hands above knees, reaching chest forward. We're gonna find those blocks again, so you can exhale as you bend the knees, get the blocks beneath the hands, and step back to your down dog. If your blanket's in your way, you can move it, you won't need it. Okay, now, gonna inhale like we were before, bending knees. Exhale, step right leg outside block. Inhale, and then exhale, step left leg outside block. Good, and then we're just gonna step back, okay? So you step back with the right leg first, and then the left, and repeat, but this time start with the left. Left goes forward, then right. Use your breath, however it works for you, just keep breathing and then go back. Just gonna keep going for this, okay? Now another option is to hop instead. So to hop, if you're interested, I just moved my blocks a little more narrow. Mine were a little wide. I looked forward. I inhale, bend the knees, and I exhale, try to hop forward into a squat, right? And then to go back, I'm gonna use my core and I press into my arms, exhale, hop back, land on bent knees. So playing around with this for several rounds, stepping or hopping. Yeah, you guys, nice. Think using core on both, whether you're stepping or hopping, so that there's not as much pressure on your wrists or on your shoulders or on your joints. Good, and then let's land in the squat. Okay, so we're forward in the squat, our hands are on the blocks. Here we go. We're gonna take our blocks onto our thighs. Now, I'm just resting my elbows here. I know it's a little funky, and I might need to widen my feet. I'm gonna turn my feet out. You're allowed to do whatever you want, right? Freedom of movement. But for me, this is more of like a little sumo squat here. Okay, so your chest is trying to lift. You're trying to open the knees. That's it. Breathe. Now let's set the left block down. I'm doing my left. And the right block can stay there, or it could come inside the knee like we did when we were in gate pose, right? And I'm just gonna put my left hand on my thigh, do a little twist to the left. Good, opening up that right side. Keep breathing, press elbow into block, block into elbow. Good, and then exhale, untwist. You can now put your right block down or just switch, right? So it could be on the thigh like we did it, or it could be in front. Okay, right hand to thigh, twisting to the right. Keep breathing, keep opening, working those legs, following your breath in and out. Good, one more breath. And release, let's straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, forward fold. You can put your arms however you want to. I'm resting mine on high blocks. Forehead down, knees can be bent or straight. Okay, recover a bit here. Right, that was a lot of work. So can you feel your breath recovering? You might take a sigh. You might feel that you want to move around. Right? Couple more breaths there. Good. Now let's inhale, reach chest forward. Exhale, bend knees more. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, arms out and down or through the center. Good. And then we'll just walk our feet closer together and pause here. You might want to shake out a little bit. You can let your eyes close if you want to. Feel all of your toes. Feel your breath go in and out. Is there anywhere that you could release to gravity right now? You know, like shoulders or jaw, eyes. Good. And now, with that same sense of ease that you might be getting from releasing the gravity, could you press your feet into the floor and lift the top of your head toward the ceiling without taking away that sense of ease? And now finding a rhythmic breath again, right? So just inhaling, maybe a count of 4, exhaling either for the same count or longer. Can use Ujjayi breath or natural breath. And then with eyes open, we'll move again as we inhale and reach arms up. And exhale, hinging at the hips as you fold, bending knees at any time. Hands can come to blocks or not. Inhale to reach your chest forward. Good. And exhale, we're going to place hands on the floor to step to plank pose and pause. So in this version of plank, to protract the shoulder blades. So widen the shoulder blades. That's it. Tucking your tail under. Good. And feeling like your armpits are actively moving towards your ankles. Okay, good. Now from here, could you exhale, lowering your left forearm and then your right forearm? And everything else is the same. If you have to be on knees, just be on knees. Totally fine to be on knees, okay? Just walk the knees back so that you can tuck the tail. Good, keep breathing. Now, could you, without getting into your neck or tweaking your shoulders, could you now take your hand back to the floor, one, doesn't matter which, and then the other, while keeping your core engaged. Could remember armpits towards waist, armpits towards waist. So shoulders are away from ears. Good. And now could you do the opposite elbow down first? Remember, you can drop to knees, okay, if you need to. Good. Just keep the knees walked back so you're in a tucked tail. Good. Keep breathing. And now that opposite hand comes back up to plank first, and then the other. Good. Good. You can drop to knees or lower straight down. We're going to our bellies. And inhale any kind of cobra or sphinx pose that you want. Just think shoulders away from ears, pressing pubic bone down, stretching out the front body a little bit or a lot. As you inhale, can you feel the width of your breath? Good. And then as you come down, stretch your chest forward and come down. Yeah. And then in placing your hands for a push-up, rolling the shoulder heads back. Gonna exhale, engaging the core first. So those ribs draw back and pressing up to knees or to full plank. And then back to your down dog or child's pose. Good. Feel free to move around however you want to in either of those poses. Okay. And let's come back to your rhythmic breath if you've lost it at all. Okay, so just feeling it go in, feeling it go out. Can you focus just on that? Good. Another breath there. And then inhale to bend the knees and step or hop to the front of your mat as you exhale. Inhale, reaching your chest forward. Exhale, bend the knees. And inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, let's bring palms together and down. Good. Pausing there, feeling your toes, feeling your hands. Breathing in, breathing out. And then inhale, reaching up again. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, extending spine forward. And exhale, finding your block, stepping left leg back to a lunge with the knee up. So a high lunge. Good. Let's get front ankle below front knee on this one. Blocks might be any height, whatever you think you'll need here. What we're going to do is what we've been doing the past few weeks. We're going to exhale, twist open to the right. Left arm is down. And then we'll inhale, bring the right hand down to a block. It might need to be high by the pinky toe. Spin the left heel down, press knee into arm as you open to the left. And just repeat. Okay, so going side to side, coming down on the inhale, lifting the back heel, exhale, twisting. And so the hip and heel are adjusting as you go side to side. You're also really working on that same area we've been working on, the inner thigh, the adductor, the groin, opening up while staying stable through the hips or through the feet, through the breath. Good, you guys. Just do one more round. And then next time you come to center, let's lift the back heel. And you might need to step that back foot in a little closer. We're going to stand up into crescent lunge. So back heel is lifted if you can. Hips are squared toward the front. Let's bend the back knee. You can always step it closer, right? The foot, I mean, and tuck the tail. So now hip is over back knee. You got it. Just relax your shoulders if you can. Yeah, if you can. Good. And breathe. Okay, so you got that back glute engaged, and we're looking for a stretch in the front of the back hip. Could go a little lower if that doesn't bother the back knee. Could take hands behind head if you want, opening up the chest. Let's take 3 more breaths. Really breathing into this whole chest area. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good, and then slowly take the arms away first, engage through the abdominals as you come back down to your blocks. You could also do hands on floor and step to plank, either going to down dog, child, or vinyasa. Okay, so your choice here. Just doing whatever serves you today. Moving with focus and curiosity. Take a sigh whenever you start your static pose, your resting pose. Good. Can you feel all of your fingers and toes? And notice if there's any areas where you could release a little more tension. Good. We're going to step that left leg forward into a high lunge. And get your blocks ready. We'll start with our twists, okay? So we'll start twisting to the left, putting your right hand down, exhale, twisting open. And then inhale as you come down any height of the block. It might need to be very high. Spin the back heel down, press knee into arm, twist open to right, and repeat on your own timing. Can that front hip be completely stable? Right? And can you find stability through your breath and your focus as well? I find it best for my body to have the pinky toe side block on the highest level. just allows me to expand the most. That doesn't mean that's true for you. That's what I'm trying to feel for in my body. Where can I feel strong, but also expansive? And now next time you come through the center, doesn't matter which side, we're going to set up to stand up, okay? So you might need to step the foot wider or closer and just slowly rise up, lifting the back heel if you can, okay? So taking the feet wider will help with balance, and then bend the back knee, tuck in the tail. You got it. Good. So you start to feel a stretch. Good. Getting your eyes focused on one point can help, softening. You might take your hands behind your head if you want to. Keep engaging that right glute and feel as though you could breathe just where you can breathe into your chest. That's where you are breathing, right? So imagine with every inhale, you're opening up any tightness between the ribs, really creating more space in your upper back, your chest. Good. Good. And now from here, let's exhale, engaging the abdominals to help you come down. Can move through your vinyasa or step to a resting pose. You know, take your time, try to listen to what your body needs, what amount of challenge or rest, rather than what you think you should do. Good, you guys. And when you get to your static pose, taking a sigh or two, feeling into your whole body. So finding a sense of global awareness if you can. Nice, everybody. Just taking a couple more breaths, or about 3 more slow breaths. Good. We're going to meet at the front of our mats in a forward fold. So you can hop or walk or get there however you want. Notice how you're feeling in this forward fold. Your legs, your neck, your shoulders. And then as you're ready, let's gently extend the spine forward. And then let's exhale, chair pose, just brief. And then inhale to stand. Exhale, bringing hands through the middle into Anjali Mudra. And then releasing, we're going to take our block beneath our left foot at the front. So here, I'm trying to turn for the screen, but if you're straight on your mat, your left foot will be on it like this. If you need to be by a wall, you could go by a wall. Okay, this can involve some balance. I'm going to step my right foot back, not too far, okay, because I'm going to take off in a moment to warrior 3. Okay, just so you know where we're going. Okay. Let me back up, Karin, so I don't hit you. Okay, so from here, I'm going to inhale, and then I'm going to exhale, try to come into warrior 3. Now, if you have to tap the toe down or hold the wall, you could do that. Okay. Good, breathing, nice, you guys. So you're just experimenting with, and if the block is just way too much, take your foot to the floor instead, okay? Try to turn that right hip toward the floor. Good, keep breathing. Good, and now let's put that back foot down, crescent lunge. Okay, so we're just like what we just did, but with the foot on the block in the front. So your hips are facing forward. Let's reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Good, inhale. Could you, and I'm just going to show it first, As you exhale, I'm going to hinge at the hips, switch arms, left arm comes forward. And then I'm going to come back, inhale, back down, right arm goes up. And then I go again, exhale, so slow motion. Now, if you're using the wall, of course, you just use the outside arm. You don't have to do both arms. Or you could do it with your foot on the floor. So hopefully you're feeling that left hip working. Are you feeling that left hip working? All right, good. Just checking. Next time you bring that back foot down, we're gonna pause. Okay, just bring the arms down. Yeah, okay, just get steady for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna open to warrior two with your foot on the block. So you're just gonna adjust that back foot. Okay, left foot's on the block. Yeah, you guys got it. You might find that you want to, I'll mirror you, that you want to take that foot back further. That's fine. Kick the heel back. Good. Opening up the front knee, right? Bending it. You could take the arms up if you want. Good. So keep working that front hip, drawing the thigh bone into the hip socket, feeling the back three corners of the foot on the floor. If your neck is tight, your arms could always come down. Let's do 2 more breaths. Nice. Good. 1 more breath. Now, very slowly from here, let's use the exhale to start to pivot toward the front. So lifting that back heel. Good, arms come down. Now, could you balance in warrior three again? And hold. Arms can be however you want them to be. Nice, keep breathing. Keep reaching your chest forward. Nice, and then from here, exhale, bringing the back foot down and stepping off of your block. Just kind of wiggle around. All right, let's try the other side. All right, so now you can move your block over a little bit, get your right foot on it. We'll start with just practicing with the balance. You can use the wall. You just breathe and work with, how is this working on this side today? You know, each side could be quite different. If you're using the wall, you could always face the other way if you want. And tap toes down if needed. And now let's step back to that crescent lunge. Okay, so just finding where it works for you, right? Back heel is lifted if you can. You can use the wall if you want. It'll be the left arm up, inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll try to hinge, switch arms, and come into warrior three. And you're just gonna repeat on your own timing. Can you find some stability, even though it's super wobbly? You know, this is not an easy thing, right? So just finding stability through your focus and your breath and having a little fun with the wobbliness, getting curious about it. Good. Now the next time you come down to crescent, let's bring arms down. I'm going to be turning to warrior two toward the left. So you can make any adjustments. Okay. Kick that left heel back, sink into the bend of the right knee with ankle over, ankle below knee. You could take arms up if you want. So we're opening the knee up, but we're also drawing the thigh bone into the hip socket. Feeling the three corners of both feet. And a couple more breaths there. Good. And then let's slowly pivot toward the front. Good. Can step the foot wherever needed. Oh, we're going to balance. That's right. And try another balance in warrior three. Good. Keep breathing. Notice if it's any different now. Good. And then stepping down when you're ready. Stepping off your block. Just wiggle around. Good job, you guys. We're going to bring this block or leave it up toward the front of your mat. Not going to be stepping on it. Okay, we're just might use it for balance up there. Okay, you can step a little back from it if you want. Just step left leg forward. Inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, crescent lunge. Doesn't matter how the arms are. You might take both up. Good. Exhale, warrior two. Open to the side. Good. Pause for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to look at your left foot and block and bring the hand to the block. You can step it forward to the pinky toe diagonal and half moon pose. Lifting right up, foot off floor if you can. Good. Inhale. Now as you exhale, could you bend the right knee, taking the foot behind and maybe fist toward heel? And then inhale, straighten it back out again and repeat. Now, if that's too much to add on, don't add it on, okay? You're just opening up across the chest, just another thing to play with. Good. Next time you stretch out to half moon, pause. Now looking down at your left hand, we'll slowly bend the left knee, try to float the hand off the block and step back. Warrior two. Good. Inhale. And exhale, arms down, pivot to the front, step forward. Just pause for a moment, inhale and exhale. Good. And then same thing, other side. So you can step back a little bit. We'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, right leg forward, warrior three. Just a couple of breaths there. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge, placing that foot down. You can take both arms up if you want. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Now settling into it for a couple of breaths, feeling that front thigh bone sucking into the hip socket, front knee over ankle. Good. Nice. Now from here, looking down for your right block. Your left hand could be on the hip or it could be up. And a reach for that block and then lift the back leg a little or a lot if it feels okay into half moon pose. Good. Now if you want to try the bend knee, fist toward heel, go for it, staying open across the chest. So err on the side of not touching the heel so you can keep the chest and shoulder open as you do this. Good, two more. Good, and then pausing in half moon. And now from here, looking down, we'll float to warrior two if you can, bending the front knee. And stepping back. Inhale there when you're ready. Good. And then exhale, can pivot toward the front. and step up. And then just pause there. You can wiggle around, bounce, swing, whatever you want to do. Roll the shoulders. Good. All right. We're going to come toward the middle of our mats and just grab your blocks so they're in front of you. I'm going to take the feet a little wide like we did for that sumo squat. Okay. Good. Inhaling, standing tall, and exhaling, bending the knees into this sumo squat. It's just like high malasana, basically. And then see if you can go lower. You might be able to take the hands to the blocks, but you're going to do what's right for your body. Now, could you put your right block inside the knee again? Okay, now if you have to come out and rest, just come out and rest whenever you need to. And then the right elbow in front of it. Now, if this isn't good for your body, you'll just put it on the thigh again, right? And you'll just kind of work here. Okay, boom, here or here. Now, left hand to thigh, a little twist. Keep breathing. Good. All right. Now from here, not going to really twist as much. So you can let that left arm dangle and step the left foot in. That's it. So the left foot is more right below the left hip here. And then you've got that counter pressure going on with the elbow and the knee. Keep that. Could you take the right heel off the floor so you're on your toes? Yeah. And then just maybe if you keep that pressure, you might be able to lift the foot off the floor a little or a lot. You could take the other hand to your hip or behind your back. It's a version of bird of paradise pose here. Keep breathing. An easy one would be to get rid of the block and hold your knee. You could even stand. Yeah, thanks for asking. You could even stand with your back against the wall, right? And just work this. Good. Keep breathing. Good. And now if you want to, you can try going back down. Okay, so you can exhale. I bend the left knee first. Hinge at the hips. Take the foot down and forward fold. If it feels better right now for you to stand and twist or do anything else, choose that. Then follow your breath in and follow your breath out. Right. All right, we're going to try that other side. So we're going to bend the knees so you can widen the feet and you can take your hands to your blocks. So if the balance thing is just a little too crazy for your body right now, what you can do is start to take just work this first squatting position. Okay. And then you're going to take your blocks, your forearms to your thighs, or just the left. It can be on top of the thigh or in front. And twist open to the right. Good. And keep breathing there. Yeah, good. And now from there, opening that knee, you can untwist a little bit and dangle and take that elbow. I didn't mention that, right? More of the elbow to the knee. And start walking that right foot underneath your right hip. And can come up off the heel. Good. And you can experiment with standing up. Remember that if that feels like too much, you can let go of the block and hold the knee. You can also wrap that other arm behind your back or take it to your hip and see what feels right to you. Joanne, you just working that hip. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go? Okay. I thought so. I knew that's what you were doing back here. Yeah. Okay. And then can you come back down the way you went in? This exhale, slowly coming down, either forward fold or you can roll up and stand up doing something else, following the breath in and following the breath out. Good. Good. Now from here, can come into Malasana or garland pose, just a deep squat. If that's not good on your knees or hips, you can take your blocks and sit on them, or you can just come down to the floor. Okay. Feel free to round or twist or whatever you want to do here. Okay. Good. Nice. Now from here, we're going to sit down. Scoot away from or toward the front of your mat and lower yourself down. You might want to know where your blanket is. And draw your knees in towards your belly. Jaw relaxed, face relaxed. And then bringing your right foot to the floor. Let's just cross the left leg or the right leg. Cross the legs. Yeah. Because I said the wrong one. And then inhale, spread your arms out. Okay, so whatever leg you have on top, you could go toward that side for a twist, or you could go the opposite way toward the other side. And if you're not sure which one you want to do, just rock back and forth and decide. And you can use any blocks or props you want. Good. Either holding the pose or moving. Good. Now let's start to lengthen your exhale. So you can follow the breath in for 4 and out for 6 or 8. And whenever you're ready to go to the other side, you can exhale to come out of your twist and switch which leg is on top. You can rock back and forth or just choose a side. If it feels like your shoulders are creeping up by your ears, just move them away. If it feels like you want head and neck support, you can grab that. Good. And whenever you're ready, exhaling to come out, if there's any final pose that your body wants, you go for it, or movements. And then finding your way either to Shavasana or any restorative pose, constructive rest, anything that your body could practice letting go in. And just give me a little wave if you need a bolster or want to bolster or a blanket brought to you. You could cover your eyes if you'd like. Taking a few sighs. Can you allow yourself to let go of as much effort as you can right now? Letting go of effort around your jaw and your tongue. and around your eyes. And on the skin of your face, just softening your throat. You might take a sigh or just let go a little bit further, as though you could sink into the floor again. Inviting softness now to move down your throat and into your shoulders. Your upper back, and down your arms to your wrists and hands. Inviting softness into the experience of your breath. So letting your breath be soft and easy. Letting go of control over it. And softening through your belly, your hips, your legs, inner thighs, all the way down your legs, your ankles, and your feet. And again, feeling for letting go a little bit more, just inviting that in. And just as a curiosity for yourself over the next few days or just today, what kind of freedom have you been feeling within your own body physically? Or within your emotional and mental body, that Manomaya Kosha? Is there anything you're feeling kind of bound by that you'd like to let go or soften around? You might be able to go a little easier on yourself mentally or emotionally. And how does it feel to invite in that idea of this softening? And I'll end our practice there. You can just take your time, okay? I'm going to honor that tradition of yoga and where it comes from, India, with the sound of Om and all the teachers that brought it to us in the West. A long tradition that we've changed a lot over here, but honoring its roots. I'm just going to inhale and then Om. Inhaling. Om. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good few days. Let me know if you have any questions or I can help you with anything.